Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 2 of my quest for Mythic Invitational Invite. Today we are going to be starting at number 178 in Mythic because in our last episode we climbed over 200 spots from rank 405. Hopefully we can keep that up today, but before I dive in, I do want to remind you that if you enjoy this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to get updates for whenever I post new content, including future installments into this mini-series. And also, if you have any questions about the deck or the gameplay, be sure to leave those in the comments section down below. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Hello and welcome. I know I showed you the deck list last time, but for those of you who are new to the series, this is the deck that I have been using, Mono Blue. A pretty standard list. It may differ. It has one less dive down than a lot of lists and one more Charter Course. I think 2 Charter Course is pretty nice. 20 islands in the main deck, 4 Wizard's Retort, 4 Tempest Djinn, 4 Tricksters, 2 Essence Captures. There used to be only 1 in the deck, but I did go up after seeing its success at the Pro Tour. 3 Spell Pierce, 2 Charter Course, 4 Storm Tamers, Terramanders, only 3 Mistcloaked Heralds. It is the worst 1-drop because it doesn't have any late game applications or protection applications. 2 Dive Downs, 4 Curious Obsession in the sideboard. 3 Entrancing Melody, pretty much a must. It's good against Sultai, and it is good in the mirror match. 2 Exclusion Mage, 4 Surge Mares, 3 Negates, 2 more Essence Captures to round out the suite, and 1 Disdainful Stroke. So that's going to be the deck, and we'll dive into some matches. Hello, and welcome to the first match. We're playing against someone who's ranked 815. Hopefully we can manage to get the win because losing against people that are far below you in the rankings really does hurt. This is an interesting hand. It doesn't have a lot of the components that I normally look for in a great hand with Mono Blue. It doesn't have a Curious Obsession, and it doesn't have a Tempest Djinn. Essence Capture's fine, but overall, I think this is going to be a mulligan. Just doesn't have a ton of strong stuff. We are on a mull to 6, but this hand does very little as well. We're going to have to mulligan that too. And then we'll end up having to keep this, and we will keep that on top. We do have a chart, of course, to try and find some stuff, but overall, not the greatest hand. Looks like our opponent is playing Sultai. Sultai is a fine matchup if you draw the right cards, but it can definitely get out of control. Especially if he kills this early on, and I don't have a Curious Obsession. I do need to draw Curious Obsession. Okay, Jadelight Ranger. The card that I'm really worried about is Wild Growth Walker. That would be pretty bad. Okay, so he found one, but he's banning it because he already played his Explore creature. And we did hit a Tempest Djinn, which is nice. We're just going to chart a course here, try to recover some cards. Okay, and now we can play our Tempest Djinn next turn. Though we might have to wait on that. Okay, another Jadelight Ranger. Okay, so he can play Vivian Reed next turn, so I definitely don't want to play my Tempest Djinn. So I'm just going to play my Storm Tamer. Hit him for 1, and then I'll hold up Trickster / Spell Pierce. Yep. Definitely Spell Piercing that. If we don't draw a land, we'll probably have to run out the Tempest Djinn anyway, just because we need a way to stop these on board. He probably has a way to kill it, but that is life sometimes. Okay, with the drawing of a second Merfolk Trickster, we can probably just wait another turn to try and draw the protection for it. Because we'll just flash in the Merfolk Trickster before combat, tap down a Jadelight Ranger. That's really bad. However, we can just tap it down to prevent the trigger. It's only going to be a 1/3. And then this will trade with one of his 3/2s. Definitely trading here. We're not in the greatest of shape, I will say. But if we hit a land, we could maybe protect the Tempest Djinn for a little bit. Okay, we'll keep waiting. No attacks. We need to be wary of the Alpha Strike. And just attacking with all his elves and stuff like that. We might have to make some trades. Okie doke. going to tap down this guy, just in case he has a second main phase adapt guy. I mean, explore guy. We're not adapting anytime soon, so we will just block like this. I know that he's going to be able to make this big at some point, but my only real way to win this game is to get Tempest Gin and then get like a Curious Obsession as well. Okay, so he's going to be able to buy back an Explore creature and adapt both of these things. He doesn't go for it. Interesting. Here we're just going to slam the Tempest Gin here. At this point we need to draw pretty well to win this game, and okay, so he has Vraska's Contempt, and that's going to be game. Because now he has the mana to buy back a Jadelight Ranger. So that was unfortunate, but we have some good sideboard tech. Essence Capture is good in this matchup. Entrancing Melody is definitely a card we bring in. We can bring in Negate, some number of Negates or Disdainful Strokes, one of the two. Let's see. Think about what we want to take out. I just like to add in all the cards that I'm considering and then make some cuts afterward. A lot of my cards in this matchup are pretty good. I'm going to cut the Mistcloaked Heralds. The matchup gets much grindier post board, and having a 1-mana 1/1 just doesn't really help me as much. I probably don't want the Negates. Disdainful Stroke is questionable. I have already got a lot of counters, so I would think I'll just cut those. And cutting Chart, of course, is sketchy because it's a very grindy matchup. I do want to keep at least 8 1-drops so I can maximize my odds of having 1-drop and Curious Obsession, considering the fact that I did cut the Mistcloaked Heralds. Cut Merfolk Tricksters. I think that's fair. There are draws where you really like Merfolk Trickster, but it's very temporary value because it just gets blanked on the ground so easily because they have all ground creatures. We will play first. We'll keep this hand because it does have a Tempest Gin. Also, post board, I'm less likely to mulligan sketchy hands because they have Duress and stuff like that to take Curious Obsessions early. But this hand is good. We can Essence Capture something. We have Spell Pierce for Vivian Reed. Okay, and he doesn't have a turn 1 play. That's good for us. When you bring in Entrancing Melody, you also generally want to keep in your lands. Okay, we're definitely just going to capture it up here. Use our mana efficiently. So he probably has the full suite of cast downs. Actually, maybe, did he not play a blue land last game? Regardless, we're going to wait on our Tempest Gin. Because getting that cast down would be bad, especially when we have Storm Tamer and stuff. Though if he spends his turn cast downing, not very efficient. I'm just going to play it. You never know when you're going to draw your 4th land, and playing Merfolk Trickster is far inferior. Okay, it worked out. Yay! Did happen to draw the land, but now we can win the game instead of just barely clinging. Hopefully his removal suite is Vraska's Contempt. He did have blue mana. Okay. Definitely going to sacrifice that to protect our big boy. Well played by him. That was a smart decision because I was going to flash this in, block his guy, and be in pretty good shape to just kill him in 2 turns. As it is, if I hit 1 more land, I can kill him in 2 turns. I wish that I had another removal spell like counter spell or protection spell to help against Choops. We're going to hold full control. A little bit of a bluff here. being dive down. Never lucky, man. That's really unfortunate. It happens, though. Sometimes they just happen to have the combination that beats you, and we couldn't beat 2 Chupacabras in this spot because we drew 2 Spell Pierces. Sure. Okay, let's chart a course here. That's something. So then we will end the turn. We want to keep this Trickster so he can't get great value off of his Wild Growth Walker. Sure. Things are looking grim, folks. Let's stop some of that life gain. Unlucky. Dang it. We're not in good shape this game, I will say. Maybe his deck just doesn't fold the Spell Pierce post board. Maybe he takes out all of his non-creatures. That doesn't really make sense, though. Yeah, Spell Pierce is basically not a card in this scenario. Oh, we are in trouble. Rats. Yeah, we lost this game. Really close to getting him, but he had the second Chupacabra. Oh, we can't take anything. Yeah, we die. Rats. Well, that's going to do it for the first game. I wonder where we'll fall to. Hello, and welcome to the next round. Ooh, playing against the number 39 player. This is a great chance to make up for that last round, where Magic Online was sad and crashed after we lost it. I mean, Magic the Gathering Arena, might be. We will play first, and we have a great hand. Hopefully he's not playing a deck that can kill a turn 1 Herald, though that happens sometimes. Ooh, this could be interesting. Mono white. Mono white's not the best matchup, I will say. But he cannot kill a Curious Obsession up Herald on turn 2 usually. If we didn't have Opt, I think there'd be an argument maybe for charting a course instead, but even then, probably not correct. And that would be only because it's mono white, so you want to be mana efficient against them. Yeah, we'll just run our guy out. He could have Baffling End. I know Marcio, I think, was playing main deck Baffling Ends, but I think he only had 2, and we want to get the Storm Tamer out so we can block the Dauntless Bodyguard if he attacks with it. Definitely a block we want to make. We're drawing extra cards, so we just want the game to go as long as we can, as long as it can. Also, making him run out of creatures means Legion's Landing is not as good. This play means that he does have some 3-drops, though. So, need to be wary of Benelish Marshal. Unfortunately, we do not have an Essence Capture or an effective counterspell for it. History of Benalia. Sure, happens. He has it. Okay. We can beat up a History of Benalia fairly easily, though. Here, we're just going to get our Merfolk Trickster into play. More mana efficient, and mana efficiency is king in this type of matchup. Attack for 3. We want to keep this guy back to dissuade that dude. That's a draw. I think we'll wait on it, though. We'll chart. Okay. So we did take a turn off, essentially, to just draw a bunch of cards. But we now have 2 Tempest Djinns and another Merfolk Trickster. His Conclave Tribunal not looking all that good, if he does have one. Okay, so he has Loxodon, it looks like. Yep, Venerated Loxodon, definitely a card to be afraid of. We'll get our Tempest Djinn out. I should have attacked with my Herald first. Okay. Flash in our Herald. Tap down one of his highest powered guys. Blocking there, taking 5, 9, 13. We go to 7 here. He goes up to 13. We did manage to trade off a couple times. And he did not have a removal spell for Tempest Djinn, which is huge. Which means our second Tempest Djinn is probably good as well. So here we're just going to attack with this guy, so that we don't lose the Curious Obsession. But then we're just going to kind of hold back a little bit, take a chill pill. Play a second Tempest Djinn. Play a Mistcloaked Herald. And a Terramander. The card that we're really afraid of is the +1/+1 counter card, but I think getting the board wide, we can just jump block the +1/+1 counter card guys and then kill them in the air with a big attack. Okay. We don't want to risk our Tempest Djinns. We have 1, 2 instants in the graveyard. We're going to have 3. So we'll be able to adapt one of the Terramanders. Okay, so we're going to hit him for 2 guaranteed, so that's 9. We have another land, so this is 7, 14, 16, 22. So we don't care about that. We don't care about one of our Terramanders. Though he can't really have anything that super punishes us. We'll just jump with 1. If he had double pump spell, he would have attacked with everything. Like if he had 2 Pride of Conquerors. Sure. I'm glad we kept this extra Terramander around. Don't want that land. Spell Pierce. That makes it very nice. Okay. Play land. We have 1, 2, 3, so we can adapt this guy and have Spell Pierce backup. He blocks this. He takes 9, 10 dead. And he can't even have Settle the Wreckage. Yes. Okay, we got the W. Beating this guy would be a huge swing for us. We're going to bring in Essence Captures. We bring in Exclusion Mage, is great in the matchup. Entrancing Melody is good because you can take History of Benalia tokens. We don't want Disdainful Stroke, even though it does counter Venerated Loxodon, which is our worst card to beat. We need to just save Essence Captures for that. Surge Mare is good in some number. Negate has some potential, but we just keep the Spell Pierces in instead. And what do we cut? We cut the Wizard's Retorts. They're just too expensive for Wizard's Retort. You just have to hope that you can counter the Loxodon. That's why Essence Capture is a real big add here. Merfolk Trickster is important for beating a Danto Vanguard. You cut Charticourse because you don't usually have as much time to just draw cards. You cut the Mistcloaked Heralds because your 1-drops, you can't race them with like one little 1-drop dudes. And then the last 2 cards... I'll only bring in 2 Surge Mares because I do want to be holding up Essence Capture a lot of the time on turn 2 on the draw. And Surge Mare is like fine, but like you don't want to just draw all Surge Mares in this matchup because they do have a pretty good late game. Surge Mare is much better against like the green aggro decks like red-green because a lot of their creatures are just green and you can just attack through in the end. Oh man. This is a sketchy hand. We have to mulligan this, I think. We don't have a creature. We don't have all that many creatures. We have like 8 really good draws for turn 1 that he could just baffling end anyway. This is a keep, but it's not one I'm happy with. We just have like a card that can get us a nice little bit of value, can stall him a little bit. We'll keep that on top though. Merfolk Trickster is definitely a fine card. One card that was good in this matchup that I don't have in my sideboard anymore was Fairy Duelist because they would play around Merfolk Trickster and get wrecked by Fairy Duelist. I think sometimes I cut Dive Down in this matchup. I think it's probably correct to have cut Dive Down. I should have cut it over Surge Mare just because you don't really want to be holding it up. Him not having a 2-drop is very bad for me. Very bad. It means he has Benelish Marshals or History of Benalias. Both of which are problematic. Okay. So, if I try to scry into Spell Pierce, I have essentially 2 draws at it out of 52. 2 draws, that's like a 4%, but I have 3 copies in my deck. So I have 3 out of 50 odds times 2. So that's like 6%. So I have like 12% chance of hitting. And he's probably not attacking with this anyway. Okay, we'll be able to resolve. I think if we just want to stop him from attacking with this, and we can just Exclusion Mage the thing. Let's just get our creature into play. We need to be mana efficient in this matchup. So we have a pretty scripted like turn sequence here. Bounce this thing. Attack for 2. Next turn, Tempest Djinn with Dive Down backup. If the next card is a Spell Pierce, I'm going to be sad, but I think it's the correct play to just wait. Develop a creature. Dauntless Bodyguard, eh? He probably has a big Convoke, like Venerated Loxodon. That's one of the hardest cards for us to beat. Oh, he has Baffling End, eh? Also, one thing to keep in mind, you're not like super terrified of Legion's Landing, because you just out card draw it with Curious Obsession stuff. Him making a 1/1 every turn is not terrifying at all. Ooh, okay. But still just going for the Tempest in play. He has one card in hand. We're in very good shape this game. He'll have to attack with everything. So we will... What's this covering? The Night token, yeah. We will trade here, eat there. Wait for it to resolve before we choose what to protect. That was a big misplay from him, I think. Or potential misplay, because now I can eat this Night token. Okay, so he realizes that Legion's Landing is not the key. Oh, that was such a good draw. Such a good draw. We're just going to beat him down now. I like attacking before opt here, because if we draw a land, we'll just play it, but we want to just have more information before we opt here, because we might want to play a 1-drop and have Merfolk Trickster up. Now we will opt. Opt on top is not bad. It makes our future Terramanders a lot better. Perfect. So now if he draws Benelish Marshal. Oh, yes. Yes, that was disgusting. That was disgusting. That opt play, though. I think he, like, it, because if he draws Benelish Marshal, we won't have to care beforehand what we Merfolk Trickster. But here we'll just eat this thing. Oh, yes. We want to kill him in 2 turns if we can, just to prevent stuff from going wrong. So if we draw a land, we can just get him. Yep. And now we have up our Merfolk Trickster as well. So I guess we were probably going to kill him in 2 turns either way, but this way we're just like double protected. Let's see how many spots we go up after beating the number 39 player. We didn't see any blue lands out of him, so maybe he's just playing pure mono white. Also, gotta be said, the dive down was clutch, so maybe it's not correct to side it out. Sure. He has to target this one. Oh, he's targeting that one. Okay. We'll just, in combat, make the thing not have lifelink. We could have done it pre-combat. It really didn't matter. We could have just played this after he attacked us. Oh my goodness, yes, we're right back to where we were. Actually, we are up 3 spots from where we were. So yeah, you go up a ton for beating the high-ranked players, so I'm really happy we got an opportunity to face Sanazuko. Sorry, buddy. Hello and welcome. We are playing against Satoshi. He's ranked number 627 on the ladder. We win the die roll, which is a great sign, and we have a pretty bad hand, so we're going to have to mulligan. This hand, much more keepable. It can just kind of survive until we draw one of our power cards. Chart a Course would be nice. Obviously, Curious Obsession would be great. We'll keep this hand. Scry that to the bottom. We just really only care about Chart a Course and Curious Obsession with this hand. Hopefully we can beat him. He is ranked number 627, so it would be a pretty sizable fall if we lost to him. And he looks like he's playing either Sultai or Esper Control. This hand is bad against both because we don't have an early source of card advantage. We don't have a Tempest Djinn, but double counters can be nice. We'll let that resolve. It's not one of the problematic cards for us. Hopefully we can draw a Curious Obsession soon. Spell Pierce, still not what we need. Yikes. This is like not the best matchup, I don't think. I mean, there's definitely like game on both sides, but like it depends on my starting hand. My starting hand was not good. We're definitely countering the Jade Light Ranger. Hopefully we can just maybe mana screw him or something. And we don't just want to let our cards rot in our hand and do nothing. We have a lot of counters. Definitely opting pre-combat, looking for Curious Obsession. Terramander, not really what we're looking for, though we do have a lot of instants, so definitely we're just going to bottom it, though. We just want to find Curious Obsession as fast as we can. It looks like he doesn't have a fourth land as of right now. So countering the Jade Light kind of worked. Definitely going to keep up with the countering of them. I mean, this could be a nice way to bait me into countering it if he does have lands. So that's like a strong strategy, yeah. But you can't always get what you want, as they say. Hopefully he has like a Vivian Reed that he taps out for. Sure, we'll let that resolve. I mean, we don't have an option in the matter, but we'll let our opponent think that we have an option. Sure. So he has 3 cards in hand. We'll play this just as a blocker for this 3-2. Maybe we'll want to attack him, so we'll just tap down the blocker. Yikes. We'll just attack him with one guy, so we can block. And things are not looking good, though. This is what happens when you don't draw your Curious Obsessions and your Tempest Djinns. It kind of looks awful, but I mean, that's what you sign up for when you play mono blue. That's not great. Yeah, that's really not great. So we were right about him not having the lands, but it turned out not to matter. Sometimes you'll upkeep, get their Llanowar Elves, but I was more worried about Vivians and stuff. Yeah, that's going to be game. Okay, let's move on to game 2. Game 2, we're going to sideboard a little bit differently. We're going to cut our Spell Pierces. I've been very unimpressed with my last match. I think they've just kind of changed the way they either sideboard against me or something of that nature. I'm going to bring in the Essence Captures. Definitely keeping in the dive down, taking out the Mistcloaked Heralds. So I like all these cards. Merfolk Trickster is probably going to cut down 2 copies of it. And then we get to decide what else we want. We definitely want the Entrancing Melodies. And then we'll take the Disdainful Stroke. And then we'll just bring back in the Merfolk Tricksters. I mean, those aren't the worst. Negates. Yeah, we'll just bring in the Merfolk Tricksters. The negates would be for like Vivian Reeds, but at that point we'd probably rather have Spell Pierces. I don't know. I feel like they run a lot of like more creatures post sideboard and they cut some of their expensive spells like Hostage, like Vraska's Contempt and stuff. Like they still will have Vivians, but we'll play first and see what happens. This is a keeper for sure. 1 drop into Curious Obsession hopefully is good enough to beat him in game 2. We don't really have any protection, but hopefully he just doesn't draw his ultimate price, and hopefully he doesn't have something odd like fungal infection or something. This is fully, oh, that's a great draw. This is fully a game I expect to win, especially now that I have a dive down. This is really where the deck shines against Sultai. I could have cut a land maybe on the draw. On the draw, I'll cut a land, I think, for some Spell Pierce action. Because on the draw, you really don't need all the lands that you run. Sure, we'll opt to see what we can find. That's a good one. We'll always keep those pretty much. Yeah, we'll just play it safe. Try to course in Storm Tamer. If he wants to cast down my Pteramander, like, that's fine. I've already drawn 2 cards off it. And it looks like he doesn't have it. Okay, so things could get ugly for me starting next turn. So we have a lot of lands in our hand. Not the best, but he's going to gain like 12 life here. He's got a Daylight Ranger almost assuredly, or that's what it seems like he has, which is bad for us. Sure, most certainly is, but like, if he doesn't have that, we're in great shape. Counterspell, yes! Every time, let's roll. Gonna deploy both the Storm Tamers. We have a counterspell for if he had to find Finality. And now we can Daylight Ranger. We can counter Vivian. We can counter any spot removal spell he could have. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna change a little bit. We're gonna cut a land for sure on the draw. Still have yet to see like a ton of non-creatures. We'll hedge with a negate. Negate seems a little bit better. And we'll cut a Chart Course for negate. That's a little bit too sketchy for my liking. We'll go like this. The problem with Spell Pierce is like one of his main spells is Find Finality, and if he's casting Find, we can't Spell Pierce that like ever. Oh yes, sign me up. Oh, please have like a heavy Chupacabra draw. This is like very good against certain draws that he could have. Not against immediate cast down, but oh yes. Well, I don't know if I should be saying oh yes quite yet, because like him gaining a lot of life would be problematic, but we're drawing 2 cards a turn. We're going to be in good shape here. I hope he has a way to try and kill this thing right now. So it's probably incorrect for him to go for it. Probably just best for him to develop his own plan. Yep. Old Jade Light. Hey, Crawl Harpooner, that's not nice. It's not really about the life totals. It's more about like the situation that we're in terms of like cards and stuff. Yeah, we will. If we do this, we have to discard the hand size, so we will just pass turn. We are taking 7 here. we can just counter something that he plays, or we can dive down. Sure. He can take one of our dive downs, but he can't take the other one. So if they fight, I can play my Tempest Djinn with protection. No. I can play it with protection anyway. We have view battlefield. We already have 2 instants in the graveyard. We'll put that on top. We'll have 3 instants in the graveyard. He's missing land drops, which is good for me, I think. We'll... yeah. If he wants to trade, we're fine. TBH. Should have just let this thing trade probably, but... Or we can just treat it as a sunk cost. Definitely misplayed this. I should have just let them trade. I think part of it is I need to get instants in my graveyard. Let's just keep our guy alive. And then pray. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes. We have to trade those. If we can survive this turn, then we'll be in a winning spot. That is a big if. So we have 4 instants. If he has Carnage Tyrant, yeah, okay, this is beatable. Do we want to buff it? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have 5, so it'll cost 3 to buff. Don't think we want to buff. So he draws 2 cards. Merfolk Trickster, my man, please. There's Tempesto. Tempesto Jinli. Ugh, We're going to lose. Oh, we're going to lose because of that crawl play. Ugh. No. We're still alive. We can just jump with our Tempesto Djinn. Oh, he messed up. He should have attacked with Llanowar Elves. Unless he has a 4-drop. Oh, that's game. Ah! We totally screwed this game up. We wasted our dive down and paid the price. We wasted 2 dive downs. Also, we couldn't deal with Wild Growth Walker ever. Dang, how far do we fall? Yeah, we fall like 90 spots. Ugh. Rough stuff. Rough stuff. Hello and welcome. We are playing against someone in the 98%, which I think means that they're not very high rank, like they're too low for it to matter. We will keep this hand. Turn 2 Charter Course is really nice. We also have Wizard's Retort, depending on the matchup we have. Trickster, he's mulliganing to 5. Should be a pretty free win. 4. Interesting. He's probably playing mono blue, is what I would guess, because he's just looking for a hand with Curious Obsession plus a creature. He concedes. He doesn't want me to know what he's playing. Interesting. We're going to take some risks with our sideboarding. Should we? Usually the matchups are slower post-board, so I'm going to take out the Heralds. And we're going to bring in... Dang, that's actually really annoying, not knowing what he's playing. And we're going to take out... And we're going to bring in the 3 Entranced Melodies. Those are generally going to be good against a lot of aggro decks. Hopefully he's not playing Blue-Green Nexus, but that deck doesn't usually have to mulligan all that much. So we're taking a little bit of a risk with our sideboarding, but hopefully it pays off. We'll keep. We have our sideboard tech. Okay, we sideboarded pretty correctly. Entrancing Melody can be great against them. We do keep a lot of our good stuff. So he's going to be pretty impressed with us, I'm sure. He'll be like, oh my god, this guy's a legend. He sideboarded in Entrancing Melody. Okay. I'm liking our spot a little bit here. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. And he doesn't have a stupid Wild Growth Walker. Like, Wild Growth Walker's the literal worst. Hate Wild Growth Walker. Okay. Let's get the Curious Obsession rolling. Play the Terraman, Branch Walker, and pass the turn with Opt and Dive Down. Definitely trading here. Don't want to take too much damage. Oh, my friend hostage boy. A dear and beloved friend. Don't need the land. Thank you very much. Ooh, that's a good draw. That's a very good draw. Yes, the old combo draw, as they say. Because this is a wizard and this is Wizard's Retort. No blocks. Boom. Get retorted, bro. Should have attacked first. Always should attack first. A little bit loose there. I was just too excited. Get that Pteramander out. So now I have 3 spells. But Dive Down's pretty imminent here. Unless he has Find. In which case, we're going to have to use Dive Down. Oh, poor opponent. He doesn't realize that we're sideboard gods here on the channel. We saw this coming. We thought it might be a mono blue mirror, actually, but... Oh, I feel sympathy for you, opponent. I shall takest thy Krasis, and use it for my own selfish gains. Could we have had lethal here? Yeah, we missed lethal, I think, because we could have played it thing end of turn. So we move back up a little bit here and continuing the climb, the grind. Hello and welcome to another match here. We're playing against the number 245 player. This is a great hand, really a beauty. We are on the play. This is probably going to be a pretty decent chunk of points if we can win this one. Probably going to go up to around 180 at least. And we have a very good hand here. Probably just going to slam double Curious on this guy turn 2. Especially because we have a counter spell for future turns. Oh yes, definitely going for the old double whammy here. A lot of the time Esper does not have the tools to kill it on turn 2. And you can just snowball the game. Being cowardly with your Curious Obsessions is just that, cowardly. So sure, he could have Cast Down, but we didn't have a way to protect it anyway. Yep, and he had it. That's unfortunate. It's just a little bit unfortunate, I will say. But no regrets. Sometimes they have it. We did draw 2 cards. I mean, it's just a 1-for-1 overall because we already drew cards off the Curious Obsession. I think I have to let that resolve. I just need to get my threat into play. There's my boy Tempesto. We're just going to chart a course. Interesting. Very interesting. We want to hold up a counter in case he has Kaya or something terrifying. Get down our Mistcloaked Herald. We pretty much want to hold up counter the rest of the game. So if he goes for a kill spell, we'll just let it happen. Chromium, good to know about. He has Chromium. Settle a Wreckage? No. What do we do? I think we only need 1 counter spell. We'll let him use his Absorb if he has it. We have 3 Tempest Gins, and if any of them resolve, we're just going to win. Yep. We'll just deploy the Pteramander. The Pteramandre. It can adapt soon, and this means we can hold up double Wizard's Retort. Sure, we'll let that resolve. He is running out of gas, presumably. We're going to retort it. And then end the turn. Don't want to just die to a Kaya's Wrath. We still win if we draw a land. Whoa. Whoa, he did not flip his search. That is a terrifying sign. What are the things here? So he has to have Kaya's Wrath or he loses pretty much. We'll counter it. Because otherwise he just knows we have another Tempest Djinn coming anyway. He probably has Kaya's Wrath. Feels bad, man. Ugh. We were so close. Oh, please. He just needs to not have a good draw step. I am preparing myself. Okay, he whiffed on that. He draws. He's going for the Azcanta. Mortify. No. So he's not dead. Unless he top deck Kaya's Wrath, in which case, I mean, we're not dead. Okay, so he mortifies. But he's still not out of the woods. He has like 2 more draws. We're going to bluff a counter spell so he feels the pressure. Because it's literally this turn. I mean, a lot of his cards are counters and card draw and stuff. No! No! We were so close. Rats. We choked at the last second. There's our Spell Pierce. I wish I'd had that for that Kaya's Wrath. Dang. Okay, but this matchup gets much better post board. We're going to bring in our Essence Captures because he brings in a lot of creatures post board. All our negates, our Disdainful Stroke. What do we take out? I like to cut them Cloaked Heralds. I like to cut the Merfolk Tricksters, but he does have Thief of Sanity's post board. So those cards are good against the Thief of Sanity. I'm gonna bring in an Entrancing Melody. Entrancing Melody is just a bit too expensive, I think. We'll keep one Trickster. Dang it! Ah, we were so close to winning that game. So close. I used to have there was a deck that I was looking at that had a Search for Azcanta in the sideboard for this type of matchup. It was pretty good. Keeping this one, we just want our counters. We don't have a consistent source of card draw yet, but we'll lead with the Storm Tamer. Hello. We'll lead with the Storm Tamer because that way we can stop a turn 2 thought Scour thing. Let's go, Terramanda. Terramanda-san. We will use our Storm Tamer instead of our Spell Pierce. Storm Tamer is less flexible. That's not ideal. I don't think I would have slammed Tempest Djinn anyway. Rats. Oh, that's just adding insult to injury. Oh, that's brutal. We're going to have to double block. Ugh. I'm so sad. Missed it by that much. So things are not looking great here. Land is nice. It's interesting. Autumn Burchett was siding out Tempestions, which feels like a mistake almost every time, but maybe it's not. We have a lot of counters up, so we can just wait on our Tempestion. They'll probably try to resolve something at some point. Just a patience game. They can just flood out. Looks like what's happening. We can just draw a cheap creature too that can like help us. We hit a 9th land, then our Tempestion is just a 2-turn clock, which is kind of funny. Okay, now we will go for Tempest. Tempeste. He resolves. Now that we have double Spell Pierce to protect him. Seems decent. He's still on the battlefield on the end step. That's insane. Let's see what he goes for here. Mortify. So he has counters. Sure. Our spell pierces are looking really bad right now. They're only good in a massive counter war, which we want to force as soon as possible. There we go. There's the Siren Stormtamer that we were waiting for. We needed him a long time ago. We're not going to go for the Curious. We're just going to chart. We will Curious next turn, I think. He has Chromium in his deck, which can't be countered. Let's stroke that. We do want to get into a counter war if we can. Considering we have 5 counters and 2 of which are really bad, unless he like he discarded Moment of Craving. Bold choice. Resolve. Go for Teferi, buddy. Do it. Oh no, we don't have mana for double Spell Pierce because we didn't play our land. Wow, we suck. I'm so bad. Wow. Oh, man, I did not even notice that. Oh, that's so bad. Yeah, that's why climbing's so tricky. Hello, and welcome to another segment. We are almost at 300 rank, which is unfortunate, but we're playing against someone that's above us in the ranking, so hopefully we can get a W. We're going to keep this hand on the draw, presumably against mono white. Not the worst matchup, not the greatest. That's really ugly for us. Yikes. Tithe Taker main deck. Eek. Yeah, we couldn't have counted that anyway. We will hold up our counters and Merfolk Trickster. Dang. Ugh, this has been so awkward. I mean, that's the whole point of his deck, is to make things awkward for mono blue, pretty much. So I'm going to take 6 here, but I'll kill the Vanguard if he attacks me. Okay, he has a Legion's Landing, sure. It's relatively unlikely that he has a Benelish Marshal. He doesn't know how the interaction works. Got that 4 damage in for free. It does lose all its abilities. Hello. Okay, now we are just going to slam Tempest. Tempest Djinn. So we're going to win this game. This is actually really funny, because he doesn't have Benelish Marshal. I mean, he could have Benelish Marshal, but if he doesn't have Benelish Marshal, we're just going to have double Tempest Djinn. He could have a Conclave Tribunal. He's had 1 card in his hand that he hasn't been able to play this entire time. His draw was pretty weak. I really do like to climb instead of go backwards, but I've gone backwards many times, and I've gone back forwards again. Okay, so he has Loxodon, which is unfortunate. Oh, yeah, it's just Tribunal. That's much better for me than Loxodon. Oh my god, Loxodon would have been so bad. No block. I guess we block. Because we don't want to just take 2 from that every time. So I'm going to assume that he had this the whole time and that we can just chip away. But if he has a second Conclave, now we're really screwed. Or a Baffling End. Or a Venerated Loxodon. Or a Benelish Marshal. Ooh, yay! None of the above is great for me. We're attacking because we have to outpace a Conclave Tribunal or a Benelish Marshal, and we have to attack because he has the first 4 and stuff. So, very mediocre draw there. Quite uninspiring. He gains back a lot of the life and puts us under pressure. We really just wanted to draw a creature. We can't Wizard's Retort because we are garbage. We'll take our victories where we can get them. Make it so he can't make another token. There's the trickster that we needed. Heralde. Okay. Oh, you did not see this coming, buddy. Tap that. Wizards retort your guy. He has to attack with the life linkers. He gains 4. I'm going to lose totally. No question. Ugh. I probably misplayed this game. Yep, and we lose. Dang it. Maybe I wasn't supposed to suit up the Jin, but I didn't want to just lose to a lot of the cards he could have. Like, he could just draw a Conclave Tribunal, I would lose. Okay, Dive Down's out. Wizards Retort's out. Shard Course out. Herald's out. Okay. Okay, Backs talks. Prepare to face the wrath of Mono Blue. Ugh, today has just not been my day for killer draws and stuff. You know, it happens. Recording actually really helps me keep a positive outlook because I remember I used to watch people that would like make videos and they'd be all like sulky and stuff. And I mean, I'm definitely a little bit feeling down on my luck, but I try not to sulk and stuff because that's no fun to watch. Backstock's taking his time with the sideboarding decisions. Respectable. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Hopefully I can win this match, though. I mean, I lose game 1 all the time and then win the match. It happens. Quite frequently. Definitely doable. Okie doke. Hopefully we get a killer draw. This is a good draw. We have a Melody, we have a Trickster, we have Storm Tamer. We're going to lead with Terramander, so our Storm Tamer can potentially protect it from Conclave Tribunal. I like to be very aggressive with my early plays against Mono White. That's why I side out Dive Down. Overall, I don't think you can afford to play around too much. You kind of have to play your cards out, hope they're better than your opponent's cards. Hitting 2 Trixie is bad, especially because they have Tide Taker and stuff. Like here, I'm just going to trade every time. Trading a 2-1 for a 1-1 is just really good. It just makes his Convoke a little more awkward. Attack, looking for pretty much just land. Scrying that to the bottom feels bad, but we really just do need lands here. Hitting our 3rd land is going to be important. Especially because he could like... Okay, so he has Baffling End. So he just drew that. That actually is good for us because it gives us time to set up our Essence Capture. It gives us more time to draw our lands for Entrancing Melody, so we can take like his Benelish Marshals. That's like a key card to take. That's unfortunate. Huh. So I think we might be able to kill, just eat the Snubhorn Sentry. Let's see how it works out. Does it lose its... It does. That's what I suspected. So that was kind of nice. We get to eat his guy. And we're not even worried about a follow-up creature because we can just take it. Unless, of course, that creature... Okay, Tithe Taker. Do they take her? We'll take Tithe Taker. Thank you very much. One attacker is fine. It will do just fine for now, thank you. Yep, his knights get big very briefly. Counter that. Put a counter on my Trickster. Oh, you have erred deeply, opponent. That is a very bold attack, to say the least. There we go. Things are going according to plan. How many instants do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 instants. We're going to hit him for 4. That sets us up for lethal next turn. Even me as removal for Terramander. Yes, we beat Baxtox in game 2. Let's go. Okay. On the draw, I don't like to make any changes here. Just have to hope we can have a good draw and that he has a clunky one, or that our draw just matches up well against his. Winning games 2 and 3 is always like the highest hype moment. You're just like, oh, we were backs to the wall and we pulled it out. It's always super exciting. Don't you think, folks? Especially against our arch nemesis, Baxtox. It even sounds like an evil name. Baxtox the Evil. Ooh. Hello, hello. This hand is definitely nice. 1 drop off the top would be also nice. No, but this is fine. Okay. Okay, we're going to bluff some stuff with full control mode. Today, Taker. My turn, draw. Okay. Well, this is unfortunate. Tithe Taker's annoying. That's why I side out dive downs, partly, because it's just like Tithe Taker's a beast. Okay. Sure. He's missing land drops here. I really wanted to just take Dauntless Bodyguard, but he would just sacrifice it. So that's a really bad play. It's like wasting one of my most powerful cards. Okay, so this screams to me that he has Conclave or Loxodon. Hopefully not Loxodon. I really hope it's Conclave. Curse you, opponent! Ugh! Curses. This Loxodon is always after me. Always uncool, bud. No attacks. He is still missing lands. Which gives me a small advantage. Ooh. Taking the conservative line. Another Legion's Landing. Let's see what we draw. Why did my guys briefly swap sides? Oh, he's got another Loxodon. You've got to be kidding me. Oh my god. This card is the best card that he could have in the matchup because it makes his creatures big in a way that I can't interact with. Okay, this means we have to just go risky. We have to just go for this. Hope to draw another Tempest Djinn or another way to steal one of his guys. Or another island. Islands are always good. I like islands. You like islands. We all like islands. I'm screwed. Jesus. Double Tempest. Venerated Loxodon, two Venerated Loxodons is like his nut draw. 4, 8, 11, 14. We're so dead. He has History of Benalias in his hand. We just totally lose on so many levels. Actually, just one level, which is Mana Flood level. They do say Mana Screw beats Mana Flood, as the saying goes. So if I don't attack, I can block and trade. I think I just have to attack and hope to draw another Entrancing Melody. That would have been helpful like years ago. Brutal loss to Backstox. Oh my god. How do we go down so many spots for losing to a guy that's ahead of us in ranking? Oh no, we're further behind than we were yesterday. Brutal. Hello and welcome to another segment of the grind. We did make one change. We cut an island for a charter course. I think that's just probably the correct numbers, and 20 islands is just one too many. I have been flooding a lot, but that's just a little bit results oriented. Playing against someone who's in the top 200, which we were earlier today. Feels bad to go down so far. Oh no. Oh, he's main decking Duress. Hey, there's the charter course that we cited in. Heck yes. Heck yes. Getting us that value already. Clearly with the off-meta stuff. Let's just go for this. I don't know what his deck is, so it's probably Esper Control. Disinformation Campaign, indeed. Let's discard Trickster. I like to have it the Spell Pierce, even though he knows about it. Because it can counter the Disinformation Campaign, at least for now. And Essence Capture can stop like a Thief of Sanity, and protect the king at all costs. So we have lethal next turn if we draw a land, and our Merfolk Trickster resolves. Go for the Chupacabra. You won't. Oh, man. That turn 1 Duress was brutal. Actually. Sure, we don't really care. We just need to keep our Tempest Djinn alive. That's a mistake I've made where I just like leave my Tempest Djinn unprotected for no reason. Sure, you can take our Spell Pierce, you can take our Essence Capture, our Merfolk Trickster. takes the Spell Pierce. Probably planning on disinformationing again. But now if we draw a land, we win. If he goes for disinformation. So we will flash this in, and then hope to top deck a land. That is not a land. Oh, we got him to 1. Oh, that actually was, if we weren't going to draw a land, probably one of our better draws. Play around Board Sweeper. Yep. Boom. Got him in game 1. He's definitely going to have Thief of Sanity post board, and we definitely need an answer. So we're going to bring in more Essence Captures, which might sound odd, but I just explained why we're doing it. Then we'll do that. Take out our old Misty Men, because they aren't going to be as good when he's duressing our stuff away. Keep our charts, of course. Cut some Merfolk Tricksters. Actually, I kind of think the Merfolk Tricksters are necessary. Maybe I just cut them, though. I kind of like cutting them. They're like one of the cards I cut a lot, but like when you have a lot of counters, it's kind of nice to have them. But a lot of my creatures are like 1 mana, so opponent doesn't realize he's playing against someone that was just in the 200s, but fell like 120 spots for losing. That's what the thing about ladder is. It feels like just a huge fall every time you lose. We're gonna keep. When you're facing a deck that has a lot of discard, you just keep sketchy your hands because he'll just duress your best card every time. He sees the Essence Captures are still in. If he takes that, it means a Thief of Sanity is coming. A Thief of Sanity is coming. Inbound, inbound. I knew it. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Sure, we're not going to opt first because we don't want to give him the extra information. He'll probably take the Tempest Djinn. Don't want Curious Obsession, sadly. Negate, not really the ticket either. Neither is Disable Stroke. Oh no! Thief of Sanity, the bane of my life. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, he missed his land drop. We still have time. Oh yes, now we have our Wizard's Retort up. Oh, this is glorious. Oh man. And he knows about the Wizard's Retort, so he can't go for it. Ugh, and now if we draw a creature, we can protect it. I love drawing all lands. 5 in a row. 6 in a row. I don't know how many in a row we've drawn, but we've drawn like 4 in a row at least. Oh, I just need a creature to put some pressure on this guy. Tempest Djinn would be wonderful. Boom. More land. I mean, it's a little bit unlucky. Not going to lie about that, but that's a fine draw. We'll get it out there. He will be adapted soon, I shall say. And that's all we need. We just need to ride that Terramander to victory. Imagine if that was a Miscloaked Herald. It'd be so useless. No thank you. Use our Fungal Infection because that's our least flexible. Maybe it's better to just let it die. But now he's huge. Well, I got played like a book. That's game. Back-breaking. That was just badly played. I should have just let him die. I'm not going to bring any entrancing melodies. He'll just know that. Surge Mare has some potential, though, because he doesn't really have a ton of creatures of his own. But I think I'll just keep it the way it is. Dang, I should have just let it die. That was really bad. Countering down on mana is always bad. If he doesn't have Duress or Fungal Infection in his hand, it's great. But he probably does, especially because he kept 7. Oh, he does not. Well then, let's get busy. Well, that was a horrific draw. We have altogether too many lands right now. Oh, that's not what you like to see. He knows I have nothing now. You say I'm drawing 2 cards a turn, but... Got to be kidding me. That was the most tilting experience of my entire life, drawing a Spell Pierce right there. Oh, man. Yep. Yeah. It feels bad to lose like that. 2 games in a row. To just kind of drawing all land. I mean, the first game I did mess up, to be fair, but... Well, that's brutal. This is actually my lowest rank I've had in forever, but it happens. I'll see you guys in the next episode.